just tucked in, riding beautifully alongside Mikel Landa, who's had a great day.
Yeah, the two Spanish riders here, they will cooperate and try and limit the losses here, but we can see Vingegaard is losing a bit of ground here, 21 seconds at the moment, and you can see here on this part of the descent, this is where you need to have the power as well. You have to invest a lot, to keep the high speed here. It's not one of those descents where you can tuck in, real aero and let the bike just fly down. You have to work at it, and it's the stronger one, the stronger man here. Pogacar is just pulling his advantage out. 22 seconds back to Vingegaard. You can see Rodriguez there, 32 seconds. He's doing a very good one, and yeah, the rest, all just giving their all here in this final 8 kilometres to the finish.
Well, their own gaps, of course, to those who sit behind them, and Richard Carapaz haven't got a clock on him at the moment, but I'm afraid he is he crests with getting on for 4 minutes as a deficit over the top. So the yellow jersey will be transferring, and the shoulders upon which it will rest, I'd like you to be this man if he just stays safe. He has been giving it absolutely everything on this descent. No margin taken, and very little margin for error the way he is going down here, but he seems confident and happy. A suggestion of a Superman tuck there, but anyway, he stays on the saddle. Meanwhile, Jonas Vingegaard still alone, about to be joined here, Sean, by Carlos Rodriguez.
Yes, well, he is doing a real strong descent here, and he seems to be eating into the time of Vingegaard, and that will be an interesting one, because still plus 6 kilometres to go. If they can start working together, it is an advantage, and it will be an interesting one. When he does come back to Vingegaard, although he has quite a number of seconds, and on the downhill, 4 or 5 seconds. Unless the rider out in front of you is, really slowing, it's a difficult one to bridge. It takes quite a few number of kilometres, and as we can see, 5.9 to go, so we're getting ever so close to the finish.
Well, you heard the effects mic there on the motorcycle, just picking up the foot pegs of the motorcycle pilot scratching on the side of the road. The bikes have got to get out of the gap here, because Rodriguez is here, so is Roglic. And they have one Ayuso along for the ride as well. They're just about to draw back Jonas Vingegaard. And so a quartet, that could be a time trialling unit. You never know, Sean. It might be that they just have at least the closing of that gap, the reducing of that gap, if not the extinguishing of it within them.
Yes, well, I think the man from UAE, Ayuso, he's not going to contribute at all. As you can see here, he's not taking it up as Pogacar just goes and duties pull on the front. And it will be interesting, the other three, if they really cooperate together, they could, pull back this advantage quite a bit, because just inside the 5 kilometres to go, but yeah, it's certainly going to be the stage victory for Pogacar, and also the bonus at the finish. He will be really wanting to get the stage victory, but the bonus is also very important to him, and he's going to time trial all the way to the line.
Right, had 8 bonus seconds, 3 clear of Vingegaard going over the top. He could have another margin of 4, even if it ended up as a sprint, but it's going to be more than that, I would imagine. Goodness me. Well, if you're not part of that group, and Evenepoel is now going to come up and join them by the looks of it, Sean, this could be many more hands to the pump. Let's wait and see. No help, of course, from Juan Ayuso, who's going to act like a lead weight here, but they'll be glad to see each other almost, I think, in this scenario. Although Vingegaard is possibly going to be the loser when it comes to the bonus seconds, because some very good sprinters here as well, of which he wouldn't count himself as one.
Well, you never know at the end of a difficult stage, and the way this has been contested in the final, as we can see Remco getting back in here. This will be an interesting one now to see how well they will cooperate together, and we go inside, 4 kilometres to go. Remco, again, we could see that in the really fast technical part of the descent, he was in difficulty, but used his time trial powers, to get back in here in this chasing group behind the sole leader.
Now, after the Flamme Rouge, it gets very, very technical. It's almost like they've sent them around the marketplace. So, go and visit the Broken Biscuit store, for goodness sake. It really does weave about towards the end. Best thing to be is on your own, and that's what we've got here for our man out front, Tadej Pogacar. he'll be able to thread it rather neatly. Those around him, with so many twists and turns at the very last, may well have some problems to kind of formulate a sprint of any note, because after the Flamme Rouge there's a whole sequence of corners. It's almost difficult to describe them, but basically after the Flamme Rouge you take a 90-degree right, the road swoops around until about 350 minutes to go, then you have a hairpin, then another 90-degree right, and then another 90-degree right before you're allowed to finish. It's hell. Well, let's see. It's for our entertainment at the very last. This man will be able to thread it. He'll give you a preview of how it is going to finish. Here he comes into town. It's almost, do we dare fate him at the moment, Sean? He takes control of races early and doesn't seem to be bowed by the pressure.
Well, when you look at the demonstration of Pogacar on this final climb here, the final kilometre, the descent, as we can see, 90 kilometres per hour for those guys all coming along. And when you see the team as well, the way they have, you know, bossed this race all through the stage, and more so on the climb up the Galibier. And look, 34 seconds at the moment, advantage back to Vingegaard. He's going to take 18 seconds bonification with the 10 seconds to finish, the 8 seconds he's got at the top of the Galibier. This is going to grow out to be a very big margin. It looked like that Vingegaard was going to limit his losses in the first number of kilometres of the descent. He was holding there at that 9-12 seconds all the time, but it's growing out now, and yeah, it's going to be huge loss for Vingegaard and the rest of the challengers here to win this tour.
Most definitely. We come down to the huge mountain storm drain here. The twist and turn's already been taken by Tadej Pogacar. The others will be fighting for every single one of these apexes, you can be sure of that. 600 metres remaining. The twists and turns have still not finished. There's all kinds of rivulets that have to be accommodated by bridges, so there's pinch points all the way into town, and these guys are now just starting it. So Jonas Vingegaard that's leading them in, however. If he can pick his best lines, he's going to have some fun. Here, though, comes Tadej Pogacar. Look at the way, it's almost like a scribbly doctor's signature here. Wow. Healthy and happy is this man. Look at that. Totally undiminished, his greatness. In fact, added to today. He's going to take 10 bonus seconds to add to the 8. He's taken over the Galibier, and he looks like a champion in waiting. This early on in the Tour de France, you wouldn't really hang that description on anybody. You dare not. But with him, with this man, with today, tomorrow, and possibly every day, all the way to Nice, he's in charge. Time then for everybody else. Remco Evenepoel back seeing all of those points. Carlos Rodriguez hasn't finished as far as he's concerned. Roglic is also here. Evenepoel, it looks like he's going to take the next bonus seconds. He's got, what, 3 bike lengths already. He daren't look back. He's going to try and marshal every single one of these apexes. Ayuso, of course, is picking it up, trying to limit the damage as far as bonus seconds are concerned. Evenepoel is second on the day, ahead of Ayuso. Roglic comes in just after. What a day. What an amazing race we have here for you. It is something so special. And if you want to know how special, just look at those who were found out today on the Galibier, Sean. Amazing.